for the skies. Opening my hands to welcome in the day. Gather in the sun's rays before I'm on my way. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, numb is the word. Moving through the day, pray no accidents arise. Giving thanks to heaven that I am still alive. Blessing my enemies, blessing the ones I love. Praying for forgiveness for any damages I've done. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, numb is the word. Now the day is done and moon is on the rise. My trials and tribulations all bottled up inside. I summon in the numb as I reach up for the skies. I command all fear and shadows be gone before my eyes. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, numb is the word. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul, shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonate inside us, numb is the word. Thank you for showing up, whoever's there. Excuse me. It's all right. Sorry about that. It is early evening in the United States, Pacific time, Pacific West Coast time, Sunday,
21st of March 2021 on the Pacific West Coast over here in Las Vegas. I'm just going to make an astro doodle for this moment in time, and we'll go from there. I'm here tonight because I just wanted to give people a bit of an update and let them know I'm not dead yet, and I'm still trying to figure out what the heck to do, because things have been extremely choppy over here. It's not the end of the world yet, but there's talk about it, you know. Hello, I Love Tarot. Have you ever visited here before? It sounds like you have, but you know, I don't have I have kind of a goldfish memory, so I don't, you know, store everybody's name in my brain. I see your notes on the chat there. Yeah, so if anybody's interested, I'm offering a few. I've got a little bit of time, so I'm offering a few live mini readings by Super Chat if anyone wants to. If you've never done it before, if you see where you're typing in there on the chat, or you see the chat place where it says say something, just underneath it there's a little, oh, hello Bastille, yay! Underneath it there's a little gray box with a $sign in it. Click the $sign and that takes you to the payment processor. Okay? Hello, Obastis Purr. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, just bear with me. I'm just going to do a little bit of a... This is therapy for me. I do these astrodoodles almost every day for my own benefit. It's kind of like doing a little weather forecast, I guess you could say. It just helps me to get through the day. And I'm hoping to share this more and more with people down the road. But it's, you know, it's... I don't know about you guys, but it's been extremely weird for myself lately in life and the world and everything. You know, we all try to carry on as though everything is just fine. But if you've been feeling that there's some very bizarre discrepancies between truth and lies, between reality and fiction, then that would be very natural, okay? Hello, Blanca. Thank you. Let's see. In case, for those who are watching, in case anybody is not aware of it, I Love Tarot is... reminding me who she was. She used to call herself Ubastis Purr, and it just so happens that Ubastis Purr is a highly capable pet psychic. I don't know if you're still doing that, Ubasti, or ILT, or whatever you want like me to call you. But if anyone has issues about their pets, you need to go visit I Love Tarot. Okay? Okay, let's have a look over here. And Pisces over here. Gosh, I really do miss all our, you know, because we used to do a lot more shows, and we used to do our Sunday night live, you know, 3 or 4 hour marathons, lots of live mini readings. And then I would do like the Wednesday wellness show, where we could do readings for people from other parts of the world, like over in New Zealand and India, the Philippines, South Africa, and so on. It's just a question of time and priorities, and trying to figure out how to deal with, let's say, just say reality. Okay, I still love doing readings for people. But you've probably, if you're interested in this channel, hold on, let me just check. You know, I'm talking. Hold on, give me a second. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Oh God, all that time I've been gibbering and jabbering, you didn't hear anything. I just, I just spoke. I just, sorry, I haven't done a show in a long time. There's so much technology here. Just to do this little tiny channel, I have to run so many different softwares, and sometimes the audio settings are like very confusing. And so anyway, I'm sorry about that. What I was trying to say is that I've been absent for a while. I'll try to condense this very, very carefully. Energy flows where attention goes. We only have a certain number of years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds available to us in our waking days. If you've ever read the books by Scott Peck, especially The Road Less Traveled, you will understand that love it's like a commodity. It's expendable, and even though we have an infinite supply, when you are operating as a human being, and the healing power of love is flowing into you, through you, and out of you as an energy healer, it can take a tremendous toll on the body. And I have certain self-healing practices that have given me the ability to absorb huge amounts of energy, contain it, and then share it. And it's in my own particular unique little way. Other people have other ways of doing their things for energy healing, and that's fine. Whatever works for them. I'm envious of certain energy healers because of what they do and how they do it, and how they can become extremely wealthy and successful in what they do. But the way I operate, it's quite different. Excuse me. Good evening. Having a little beverage here. So I just wanted to explain that I have been absent mostly because I didn't have enough time or energy for the channel. And I also became very despondent because of what's happening in the world. And what am I going to do to take care of myself? I got some very serious issues right now in my own personal life, and they are taking up huge amounts of energy, even though you would never know to look at me, or if you hung out with me all day, every day, you would never know that I have these issues. So what I've had to do in order to live by my own words, love thyself, I had to allocate certain amounts of time and energy for the healing power of love to flow in a way that helps me to stabilize and recover, because there's only so much that I can do. Hello, Blanca. Yes, I'm glad you can hear me now. So I have a little bit of time this evening. It is Sunday night on the Pacific West Coast, Las Vegas time, about 5 p.m. I'm willing to do a few little live mini readings for people. I'm trying to build up my revenue stream on the channel because it got devastated, and I need to rekindle things. I don't really know what to do or how to do it. I have a lot of ideas. I know what the options are that are available to me, but there's a lot of stuff that I already know that does not work very well. So I'm still trying to figure things out as we go along. So in the next hour or so, if anybody wants a personal mini reading, help yourself. You know what to do. You press the super chat, put your money in. Donations are typically like $10 or something. And then you'll get a little live mini reading. Also, just wanted to remind you, I'm still available here for personal consultations. You can go over to the Terra Illumination website. Let me just show you something. Hold on. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the Terra Illumination website. Well, part of it. But if you scroll around and you go to terraillumination.com, you can see where to book your readings, where to make donations, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm still around, but it's not like I have a lot of, let's say, presence on YouTube at the moment. It's very interesting for me personally. When I was looking at the charts for 2021, And I was already predicting from the end of 2020, like 2021, for me personally, I knew it was going to be a crazy year because there are so many direct trigger points that are touching on my own personal trigger points. It was just as if I was doing a private consultation with any one of you. I would look for these things and we go from there and we can work together as a team. But I got to the point where I had to focus all my energy, everything I have, just to mind myself, take care of my own business, one little tiny step at a time. Because for me, it was so consuming. Anyway, that's just how it is. So, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Blanca. So, let me go back to the stage. I'm going to do a little astrodoodle for the evening. And you can get a kind of glimpse of where we are, okay? So, right now, let me fill this up here. And I'm going to make some, just chat amongst yourselves while I do this astrodoodle, okay? You've seen these before if you've come to the channel before. We've got Pluto over here in Capricorn, 26 degrees. This is really brutal, very, very, very tough energy that affects me personally and the United States very, very personally. This is very close to the single 1 degree mark for 27 degrees Capricorn, which is one of the birth aspects of the United States of America. So it's almost like whatever's happening in the United States of America right now, I'm taking it very personally. We still have Saturn, and we still have Jupiter here in Aquarius. This is very significant for the United States as well, because the United States is born with an Aquarius South Node and the Moon in Aquarius. Okay, we've got Mercury, Neptune, and Venus over here in Pisces. Mercury, Neptune, and Venus in Pisces. And right on the cusp, we have the Sun just moved into Aries today. Okay? It's conjoining with Chiron. Chiron is in a lot of pain. It moves very slowly. I don't want to talk about it, but it's basically about deep wounds to the identity of the self. The self. Aries, the energy of self. That is you, okay? Deep, deep, deep wounds, okay? Over here we have Uranus in Taurus. And as you've probably learned already from watching this channel, this is very much to do with the chaos and disruption, liberation of the global financial system and planet Earth itself. You can think about things like earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, massive, bizarre, unpredictable disruptions in climate, Earth, tectonic plates, all of those things. And it's under a lot of pressure. Over here we have Mars in Gemini. We have the North Node in Gemini. And the Moon was in Gemini, but now it just moved into Cancer. Okay? So, when I look at this, I can see the problems already. As you know, I have this kind of doom and gloom mentality because what I like to do, because I look at this as a weather chart, what I like to do is pay attention and make a note of where we have the challenging spots, okay? Because if you don't, you're either going to have to live through it completely oblivious and then you just deal with life as it comes. But if you happen to be one of these people where you've gone through this evolutionary leap, where you are aware, you are exposed, and you can no longer unknow what you know, then you end up having to deal with this stuff. And, like right now outside here, it's a beautiful day. It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's calm and mellow. But for the vast bulk of American society, they're probably thinking, "Oh, it's a great day," you know. But there is something so deep, so sinister, so profound, so evil that's been going on planet Earth, and it's been culminating recently. It started in January 2020. That was the day the bomb dropped. The shockwave went out on March 3rd. Here we are 1 year later, the anniversary of the dropping of the bomb. And as you know, all of you know, 2020 has been a SHIT storm. But we're still here. We're dealing with it. Right now, we have some serious issues here. Okay? We've got some serious issues here. Okay? Mercury hard squared the Gemini North Node. I mean, how bad? I mean, that's really rough. And we've got the sun in a hard square with the moon. You know, that is rough too. This is really, really tough energy. But my guess is that a lot of people would never know. They would never even notice, because in the background or the foreground, depending on how you like to look at life, we have some sublime, beautiful aspects which make it feel as though everything's okay. Everything is just fine, like none of this stuff exists. Imagine I'd never even written these things here. They're just not there. And all you see and all you feel is the sweet stuff here. Okay? Okay. Okay. This is a massive trine. It's a very powerful trine. It's a harmonious aspect between Saturn, Mars, and the North Node. It makes it feel as though there really aren't any problems at all. Then there's two powerful sextiles here, one here and one here. And it's just like, wow, this is, I feel great. Wow. And I don't know why, but who cares? I feel okay. Everything's fine. Okay? That's great. It's fantastic to have that. And it does a great job of masking all this red ink. Okay, we have another identical astrological aspect, but it's tweaked further along. I'll just show you in a minute. It's between Mercury and the Moon, over here, like so, and Mercury and Uranus and the Moon over here. So I know it looks like just a bunch of, gibberish. It's just, a bunch of color on the screen here. But, okay, let me, I don't know if you can see this. Hello, hold on, I'm back onto the chat. I need to check in with the chat. Hello. Hello, Lunatic444. Hello, Robin, I hear you now. Okay, so this is what we have right now. This is a typical Terralumination astrodoodle. It might look like total nonsense to you, but for me personally, this is what I do in my personal life in order to calibrate myself in my day and to help me get through. And it's literally just like you waking up in the morning and watching your mainstream television, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, all PBS, and all those wonderful things, and they give you the local weather. That's what this would look like. But this is for astrology. Okay? The movement of the planets, because all the planets have gravitational impact on us and our life here on Earth. So this to me is highly specific. I know it might look like, let me see if I can point this out again. This is a beautiful trine. This is a sextile, this is a sextile. You combine this with this, with this, with this. That's a very, very supportive, very, very comfortable aspect. Especially if you have an Aquarius, Gemini, Aries component in your chart. This one here, you see this one? This is also a very harmonious, strong, supportive aspect, especially if you have a Pisces, Cancer, Taurus alignment in your chart. Hello, Melissa. I see you. Meow, meow, meow. I see your cat picture. And that's great. The thing about the sextiles and the trines is that they are typically so comfortable that we take them for granted, like we don't even know that they're there. But these are so strong. All this green stuff is so powerful right now. It's so strong. It makes you feel as though these aspects do not exist. But these aspects here are truly, truly, let's just say, I don't know what the word is, either. I've got to think of a good word here. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going to go back to over here. The word that I'm hearing is indecipherable. And it's indecipherable, especially when it comes to being able to discern reality from fiction. And in the way that it's happening, especially in the United States, is that lies, fiction, fraud, betrayal, deception, abuse are being portrayed as truth, normal, honesty, stability. Like, we love you, we care about you. Just watch the news and we'll tell you how everything is. And at the same time, there is this, the actual reality is something very different. There is a very high degree of perversion and dislocation, fraud, betrayal, deception, lies, abuse going on behind the scenes. And it's very hard to discern this. And I had a really extensive personal reading with someone the other day, actually a couple days ago, dealing with this issue. And the only way I could describe it, please bear with me, I'm going to talk about things that are kind of ugly right now. And I hope I don't get the channel shut down, because my channel is tagged, as you know. In fact, my Google Earth is tagged. My computer is tagged. My IP address is tagged. And I'm getting to the point where the only way I can operate is through a VPN on the Tor browser. Anyway, I'll try to be diplomatic about this. The way I feel it about what's happening in the United States right now is that it's the same experience that happens with women, especially, but even guys, where they are basically abused by predators who present themselves as the most benevolent, loving, caring beings on earth. Like, vote for me and I will save you. And yet what they're doing is exactly the opposite. You need to, what's the word? You need to submit to my will. You will submit to my will. And because I know at the deep soul level, if you actually knew what I was going to do to you for my own personal pleasure, self-empowerment, indulgence, then you would not permit this. So I now have to present myself to you as the Savior. Vote for me and I will save you. Hey, let's have a cuddle. Let's have a hug. And we're going to make this beautiful thing together. Some of you might have lived through experiences like this. Some of you not. But it's the same dynamic that happens when a serial rapist uses Rohypnol to basically dissolve the defense mechanisms of their prey. Predator and prey. It's a completely empty, loveless situation. When you have the absence of love, some people interpret that as the presence of evil. The presence of evil is actually more to do with the absence of love. And it's a journey to get to that point. There are people on this earth who are completely devoid of love, and yet they have incredible power, incredible presence on planet Earth, and incredible influence on a global scale. They also have access typically to huge amounts of money. Billions, if not trillions. And they're also typically in positions of extreme power. And these are people who've deliberately been seeking the core elements of power, money, and control on planet Earth. Because it is so satisfying. It's like the most delicious drug there is. Once you have complete power over someone, you have astronomical unlimited wealth, and you can do whatever you want without any accountability. It makes you feel like you are God. Literally like you are God. And the more you go on that path, the more you have to keep taking, let's say, the soul energy of loving people. You have to feed on that in order to, let's say, fuel your own agenda. And in this situation, evil is propagated, evil grows. Just like cancer or something like that, okay? So, in the United States of America, especially right now, you might have noticed that, or maybe you didn't notice, because in the United States, there is what I consider a mass coma, a mass sense of oblivion. There are a certain percentage of people, I would say, adults over the age of probably 35, who would tend to be identified as conservative, right-wing, and so on. They have a glimpse of what's going on. I don't want to go too deep into it, because my channel will just get I'll just get more, algorithmic punishment. But what's happening in America is it's very, very similar to what a rapist and a predator does to their target victim, where they surround them with these very, let's say, convincing portrayals of goodness, wholesomeness, caring, and so on, for your benefit. But ultimately, it's for their benefit. Because what they're about to do, let's get really basic here. Imagine, especially women, it's much easier to describe the scenario using the traditional, the most obvious scenario, which is where there is a male predator and a female victim. So the male predator goes through this very seductive, charming kind of behavior with a sweet, unsuspecting, very, say, genetically desirable female. And when it gets to the appropriate point where they're very close to going in for the kill, what they would do is they would, drop the certain amount of Rohypnol. Rohypnol is the preferred date rape drug. They would put that into your beverage. Let's say you're at a teen party or a college party or a corporate party, someplace where there's a lot of convivial behavior and everybody's on their so-called best social behavior. But this is like a playground for predators. So the predators come in and they kind of go like, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun tonight. Where is my best victim? I can spot it. The thing about predators is that they are experts at spotting the victim. Because they're predators. And victims are clueless. Because victims, instead of having LA over here on their forehead, they have victim printed on their forehead. And it's either because they've been victimized from birth, and so it's built into their pheromones and their DNA, or because they're purely innocent and they literally do not have a clue about victimhood and predatorhood. So anyway, it doesn't matter to the predator. As far as the predator is concerned, you're a piece of candy, you're a piece of fresh meat, I'm ready to gorge myself on my next little feast. So, this sounds really kind of gross what I'm talking about. But this is what happens with predators. This is how predators prey. The most successful, most capable predators appear to be the most kind, benevolent, loving, caring people. And you've heard, this has been going on for the last, I'm an adult, I'm over 30, and these stories have been in the public arena for 30 years now. It used to be you would never talk about this stuff, but at least we're talking a little bit about it now. But it's very, very common. And so we're at the point where what I feel is happening right now is the predators are basically setting up the United States for the ultimate predation. And it's working extremely well. From what I can tell from my own personal observation, it's like I'm watching a movie where I'm witnessing an inevitable date rape. Where, just imagine you're at a sort of like a frat party, or you're at high school or a social event or something, and you realize that there's something very sick going on here. Everything appears to be wonderful, but in fact it's very sinister. That's what I feel is happening in the United States right now. Other countries, other people around the world are aware of this, okay? In the United States, there's a lot of information that is being blocked from our ability to consume. So the only way you can go consume it is to go onto, VPN browsers, Tor browsers, and go into Europe or Southeast Asia and other channels and places where you can actually get real information. It's not available here in the United States anymore. And so it's very perverse. I feel like I'm witnessing the ultimate rape of the United States, and how the most, I would say, the most evil predators are Americans themselves, who discovered like the most delicious, most satisfying orgy of power, money, and control comes from being an American person of high status, high credibility, high ranking positions in, let's say, society, politics, banking, economics, and so on, to the point where it's irresistible. Like, my God, this is amazing. We have a whole country here which is completely oblivious. This is the takedown of the United States. And we're at the point where I actually already feel that if we go back to the date rape scenario where the Rohypnol becomes the crossover point, I feel that in 2020, the stage was set. Everything was set up and like organized. And now we're at, hello Chantal. Oh, all right. Money, 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 people. Money, money, money. Power, power, power. Control. So, Chantal, if you want a personal reading, I will do a little mini reading tonight. You have to press the super chat button. Or if you want to, hold on, we'll look at this. If you've got the facility to do so, you can donate directly through your PayPal. You don't even have to have a PayPal account. You can just go to PayPal and click it open. You don't have to have an account. And you can tell them that you want to send money to this address, alittlebookabout@yahoo.com. And it will come up with a payment processor, and you can put $10 in or something. Anyway. Hello, Heather, up there in Canada, British Columbia. So, anyway, let me get back to what I was gibbering about. So, I have a lot of personal aspects in my own birth astrology which are being heavily triggered at the moment. And I don't think it's a coincidence that some of my aspects are very, very closely aligned with the birth chart of the United States. And I'm struggling to figure out what it all means. What am I supposed to do with all this? How can I make myself useful, valuable to people out there in some way or shape or form? And I'm finding it extremely, extremely hard to do. Because I feel like I have the ability to offer a lot of love and healing on a large scale. But instead, what happens, everything becomes crushed, pulverized into nothingness, where I end up feeling like I'm worthless, useless, like what's the point in even having my YouTube channel? My YouTube channel is so completely redundant. Why even bother? But I don't know what else to do. I looked at all the alternatives. I know what they are. I know how to do them. But they don't have the reach. Like if I take the YouTube subscribers, I used to have about 14,000 subscribers, 2 years ago. But YouTube is stripping my subscribers. They're stripping all the notifications. So it's almost impossible to run a channel anyway. I mean, it's still happening. They're not punching me out directly to my face, but oh, thank you, Robin. Hello, Melissa. Yeah, okay, we'll get you a mini reading in a few minutes, okay? First of all, let me top up my beverages. Can you imagine that? Anyway, I know I'm focusing on negative energy. I know that. But this is partly my way of venting. I'm trying to explain to the people that there's a reason I've been away. It's because I really love doing what I do. I love doing personal readings for people. And it's the nearest I ever had in my whole life to having like a little tiny self-sustaining business where I could pay my rent and buy food. Everything got crushed, and so I'm trying to rebuild. But how do I rebuild in the current environment when I look at the astrology? To me, it's very, very tricky. For some people, it's fantastic. For some people are doing extremely well right now. A lot of people, multi-millions and several billion, are not doing very well. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. I'm going to go get a beverage. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do a reading for Melissa and a little mini one for Robin, okay? Robin did an amazing Quad Aries live today. 9 people max, 6 people average, no gifts. What the? What the? I get it. Hey, Robin, if you want to really get bitter and frustrated and angry, if you go onto these kind of like Zen meditation channels, there are people who go out there and they have these like Zen channels, and they provide like the Zen space music, and they get millions and millions of views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And so by definition, they're making a lot of money off the YouTube advertising Google AdSense algorithm. It's a beautiful way to do business. So if you know how to do that, great. I mean, it's actually relatively easy. You just have to make it your business to run your business that way. The competition's pretty tough, but it's there and it is doable. How are you going to attract people from that channel to your channel? So on and so on. Anyway, I'm going to play a little song right now. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to give a couple readings. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play a song called Taste Your Dreams. Okay, let's see what happens. See if it actually comes up on my computer. It's struggling here because I'm running so much stuff on my... Let's have a look. See if this works. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, it's working.
If you wish for a simple miracle, if you wish you can have one right away, all you need is some faith, is the will. Ask for it and it will come to you today. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self. Yeah, I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Yeah. Na da 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 da. Na da 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 da. And if you wish to be in a state of grace, ask for it and it will meet you face to face. And if you wish, if you dare to dream, you will find that it's easier than it seems. Hey, hey, I want you to be oh so happy. I want you to be your higher self. Yeah, I want you to live and die laughing. Taste your dreams today. Taste your dreams this way. Yeah. Oh. Da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. Oh, la da 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 da.
Alrighty, let's put that over here for a second. I'm gonna go back to see you guys. Okay, hi. Yeah, I kind of got a bit dark there. I was advised and recommended, like, stay away from that stuff. You know, you scare people. You know? I get it, sure. I don't want to be shut down, so I've really, to be honest with you, can I send money? Hold on, I gotta just check the chat for Chantal. But I have a credit card. PayPal. Some without PayPal. Okay, well here's an example, Chantal. We could put it on a tab, but while I'm chatting here, and I'll do a reading for someone else and things like that. What you can do is go to tarotlumination.com, and you could go to like the donate page. Let me show you. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but this is a glimpse of the tarotlumination.com website. You could go here. You see the donate button? You click that button, it opens up the PayPal processor. And when you go to the PayPal processor, you can just literally enter a debit card. You don't have to have PayPal. You don't have to do that. You can just, if you've got a debit card of some kind, or even a credit card, but it's better with debit cards because then you don't rack up interest. But you can just, put whatever is 10, 20, 50, $1 million in with your debit card, and it'll go through PayPal. It most likely you'll have to scroll down the PayPal payment app, but that's one way of doing it. Okay. Oh, we need lots of different ways. What I want to do, I want to get paid in Bitcoin. I'm going to be hoping to set that up soon. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in cryptocurrencies, but that's one of the things I'm looking into right now to find a way to survive and grow in a parallel world outside of what's actually happening in America. So anyway, I don't know what e-transfer is or online banking. Oh, e-transfer is online. There's so many different payment processing systems. But anyway, I hope that made sense, Chantal. The easiest way is literally just go to the tarotlumination.com website, pull up the donate page, click, PayPal opens up, scroll through, how do you want to pay? You just enter a card, click, and you're done. It'll show up here. Okay? Thank you, Chantal. So I just want to take a few more minutes to rant a little bit. This is my way of venting and ranting. It's almost like I don't really abuse my channel, but a lot of my own personal views and perspectives are not in alignment with the YouTube algorithms, okay? They haven't actually shut me down. There's a bunch of people I know who've been completely shut down. Some of the channels that I really enjoy and really appreciate, that I feel represent truth, honesty, integrity, they've been shut down. Literally demonetized, blocked, obliterated, shut down. Anything that supports or goes in alignment with the algorithms according to the way they want it to happen, they will support you. They will tweak the knobs and the dials in such a way that your subscriber base will grow astronomically. Your notifications base will expand astronomically. And your revenue stream will expand astronomically. It's very simple. It's very simple. They support what works for them, and they suffocate what does not work for them, or they literally kill anything that does not work for them. That's how it is. So anyway, I'm already used to it. I'm just fed up with it because, frankly, YouTube is amazing. YouTube is one of the most amazing global phenomenon, I think, in the last 15 years. But it smells like it's like coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like if I was the right person with the right profile, with the right views and everything, the right perspectives, the right attitude, my channel would be 10 times bigger, and I would be rich. I would be literally rich. I know a couple of astrologers who have very successful channels, and they are literally rich. Okay? They are not hurting for money. I kind of veered off into another direction. And here's where we are. So anyway, let me go back to this a second. This little astrodoodle here is extremely personal. I'm taking this extremely personally, okay? Simply because of the way the aspects touch my particular chart. In other words, if I was giving a personal reading to myself, I would look at this and kind of go, oh my God, you're in deep doo-doo. Well, that's how I look at it. Also for the United States of America, Pluto at 26 degrees. This is telling me that the United States is in very, very deep trouble. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Saturn returns. Some of you, if you're into astrology, if you want to get into that stuff, like if you want to have personal readings with me, we can get into that stuff. But if any of you out there are in the age range of, let's say, 29 and a half years old right now, or perhaps like 58, 59, or 60 right now, if there are aspects of your life where you feel extreme pain, that's normal. It's a relatively very, very small percentage of the world population that goes through their Saturn return or their second Saturn return without a lot of pain. Okay? That's normal. Because we're here to evolve and grow and adapt. And Saturn is here to help us. Every time we screw up, Saturn will punish you. Every time you do something according with the laws of nature, truth, honesty, and love, Saturn will reward you. But the rewards do not come until after you have finished. It's like going to school or going to a class. You're not going to get your degree or your certifications until you've done all the work. You've been tested. So that's just one way of looking at things right now. Hey, Robin, I see your notes. I could use direction. We could all use direction badly. My problem is that I don't know where to go. I've ended up in a position, I have this very kind of remote, very tiny, rarefied little place on YouTube in the world of astrology and tarot reading and astrology readings where I end up, a lot of my readings or clients have been healers or Oh, it's unfrozen now. Sorry. I have a pretty good computer, but I am pumping so much stuff through the computer with all the technology and everything just to get the little show going. So if anyone out there is a multimillionaire and you want to donate a few $1,000s, please send me a few $1,000s and I'll get a new computer. We'll make this stuff happen. Chantal, you did it. Okay. Give me a second. Here, let me stay there, Chantal. I gotta go check something. See if it shows up over here. It'll show up. Let's have a look. Yep, I got it. Woohoo! This is so cool. You got it. Okay, Chantal, you've got it. It says Blanca Sibbles. Okay. All right, so that is coming across over here as... All right. Cool. Wow, this is so cool. It actually worked. Oh, my God. Oh. Hold on. I got to make sure I got the right thing. Wait a minute, there's two. What's going on? Oh, okay. Give me a second. Hold on. I gotta go back. Blah, blah, blah. Give me a second. I have to. I'm pressing so many freaking buttons trying to get this sorted out. So it looks like. Okay, let me get my magic post-it notes. Hold on. It's going back to the old days. Here's my magic post-it notes. So we have, for sure, okay? You're pregnant. Oh my God, almost ready to pop. Woohoo! Okay, Chantal. So Chantal, I just saw that on my others things there. So you just did a PayPal. Thank you very much. So I spelt it wrong. So it's Chantal. So you're going to get a mini reading. Thank you very much. And where was the other one? There was another one. I got one from Melissa. Okay. And where am I? Robin. Thank you, Robin. And there is another one. If I got it right, did I get that blank? Hold on. What? Here, maybe. You're figuring out the astrology of your baby. Actually, you know what, Chantal? We could do that. That's something we could follow up on. I mean, you don't have to do it right now, because if you're just about to pop, you got other things on your mind. But we could actually do the astrology of your baby. Yeah. Okay, now hold on. I have to do another double check thing here. Give me a second. I'm going to leave this over here. I have to go over here right now. And why? Hold on. I got to give me a second. Bear with me. I'm doing like technical things. So I've got the PayPal from Chantal. Okay, I've got that. And then I have to go back over here. But Blanca. Okay, I'm just going to read. Give me a second, Blanca. I want to read the email. It says, "Oh, so happy to see you on your YouTube channel live. I totally resonate with current affairs and things. I had to leave early and could not stay for the readings. I didn't see the $ in the comment section. I donated directly. Yay! You think I could get mine done next time you do live? Absolutely. Okay, so what just happened? I'm just reading to myself right now. Blanca showed up earlier. She was just watching the channel and she made a donation. And she's not really active on the chat. She had to go. But basically, she's paying it forward. She did a PayPal thing so she can get a reading the next time I do a live stream, which will probably be, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Whenever. Okay? So, that's kind of cool. Wow. That's really cool. So, we're not dead yet. So I'm just going to put that note over here from Blanca, a donation. But it's actually for a mini reading. It's a donation for tonight, but it's actually for a reading later. Thank you very much. So I'll just put that over here. All right. So we got something going on. Thank you very much. Let me get back to you guys. And then JS. Oh my God, JS. Hold on, I'm just checking the notes. Oh, hold on. Give me a second here. So, you already did that, Chantal. He's going to be a boy. You know that. JS, sometimes these live streams are like 20, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute or two. Right now, for example, it is 5:50 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. 5:50 p.m. Okay? Hello, Mimi Divinity. Wow, yeah. So, Love Triber just brought up something of interest. Okay, let's look at this. Chantal, you need the birth time and date to get a natal reading. Typically, these days in the United States, if you're in the United States, you'll get the birth certificate, and that'll identify the time of birth as well as the day and the month and the year. So we need all of that if you're going to get a little reading for your kid. By the way, also, Love Triber provides readings as well, but they are very, very different from what I do here. So you can follow up with that another time, okay, if you want to. In the meantime, give me a second. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. Let me. This is probably a good moment to segue over to do the readings themselves. Let me get back to the stage. First up, we have Chantal and Melissa, then Robin. Blanca, we're going to do Blanca another day, okay? So I'm going to put that magic post-it note on my magic post-it note, let's say, repository for some time down the road. As you can see, I have lots of post-it notes here. Each post-it note is worth at least $10, $20, $50, $100. You buy one post-it note for $10, $20, $50, $100, and you get a free reading. Ha, 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 ha. Do I sound like a car salesman to you? All right, let's do this. Okay, we're going to clear the stage because we're going to do some actual live readings now. So don't freak out. This is what we used to do all the time. Give me a second. I'm a little rusty here because I'm a little rusty. That's an English way, an old-fashioned way of saying I'm a little bit out of practice. I've got the wrong deck in the wrong box. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna use the Universal Golden tonight. Okay, as you can see, I've done thousands of readings. This box, this deck is, the deck. Even though the deck, I've done thousands of readings, the deck is almost like it's brand new, which I don't understand because I know tarot readers where their cards fall apart, after a year or so. But I've got some extreme high mileage out of this deck. I'm going to leave this deck for now. I'll come back another time. Put this back over here. All right, Chantal. Now, Chantal, I can't remember if we've read together before. It kind of doesn't matter. If you have a particular subject matter and you want to deal with it right now live, and you can put it in one word, like, hey, Tarot Illumination, what can you tell me about my ... my love life, or my partner, my baby, my future, my health, whatever it might, it doesn't matter. Or you can just say, TL, just tell me whatever the cards have to tell me, just tell me. However you want to do it, okay? Chantal S., a love reading. Okay, I just saw your notes. Oh yeah, Chantal, I'm not kidding. That's a $50 post-it note. I've had people put in huge donations. It's not very common, of course, but it does happen. Okay, let's have a look. Chantal, let's just do love. Okay, fine. Now, if you want to go deep into it, I have my own magical Tarot Illumination crucible spreads that I use. That's more when we do private readings and things. But for tonight, whenever I do live readings on the channel, I just use my situational spread. It's very handy. It's very versatile. It covers just about everything. Okay. He has been gone over a week. Okay, Chantal, just a heads up. When guys become a father, if the guy you're talking about is the father of the child, and especially if he's never been a father before, it can be absolutely mind-blowing for the guys. You've probably noticed it around the world, and especially in the United States. A lot of guys love to practice being a dad. They like to do all the things that you have to do to be a dad, but when it actually turns into a real life baby and you have to pay for that, and the whole idea that it's going to take you the next 21 years to look after this little creature, sometimes the guys freak out and they run away. It's very, very common. So don't stress about it. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. Okay, Chantal, here we go. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we go, another reading by Tarot Illumination. Thank you very much. Okay, he's been gone a little over a week. I'm sorry, Chantal. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know what to tell you. TL, I need you not to give up on us. Thank you, JS. I'm not giving up. It's just I had to pull back away, okay? All right, Chantal, let's have a look here. What I'm sensing, Chantal, already before we even get into the reading, is that you're a very deeply loving, affectionate, caring person. Hold on. I'm kind of getting this almost like a psychic vibe. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, all right. So I just needed to absorb what I was absorbing. Okay, give me a second. It's very, very possible to create a child in love, out of love, pure love at that moment in time of conception. But time is a very specific thing that we have on earth, okay? And so what might have been an extremely loving experience at that time could translate into something a little disorienting further along as the clock is ticking. Saturn, the energy of Saturn, is very, very important for people to understand in this lifetime here on earth. In the old days before, like 200 years ago, before they actually discovered and proved that Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto were actual planets that are out there, the only planets that they had to deal with was Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And huge amounts of human behavior and experience were defined and delineated within those 7 visible heavenly bodies: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And Saturn was always regarded as like the heavy oppressor, the devil, the bad news, the depression, the loss, and the failure. But over time, up until like 150 years ago, the major astrologers realized there's something more going on that can only be explained by having 3 more planets. And they eventually discovered Uranus, then Neptune, and then Pluto. And in the last 150 years, humanity has changed dramatically in terms of its self-awareness that parallels directly with the discovery of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. My primary interests as an astrologer are to do with Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, because that's where the big stuff happens, okay? All right, I'm going to keep shuffling. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling a little bit there because I haven't done a show like this in a long time. All right, Chantal, love reading. Okay, this is going to come from out of the blue. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to use a situational spread. What are the messages that we need to have here today for Chantal regarding the subject of love? Probably specifically to do with this fellow, who's probably the father of the child. I'm just kind of assuming that. Here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it. Let's have a look at the weather. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Pentacles here is like a surrounding energy. It's like a weather field. It's like circumstantial energy. It's not you. It's not him. It's not your child. Any of that. It's just what's out there. So for me personally, the way I look at it, this corresponds very closely to what I see here. Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can do this. In terms of astrology, this looks like a huge mess that's covered up by some beautiful harmonious energy. This harmonious energy here, these green lines, are very powerful. They are very loving. They're very harmonious in terms of astrological energy fields. However, this stuff still exists here. And the contradiction between these two energies is very extreme, because this green stuff is very powerful, very rich. Okay? Let's call that the energy of benevolence, love, goodness, harmony. All that sweet stuff, the green lines. On the other hand, right now, we have this extremely challenging stuff with the red lines. And that's mostly to do with things like deception, betrayal, lies, confusion, fraud, and anyone who might even have slight aspects that are triggered by this might be struggling under these conditions. I personally am struggling under these conditions, even though we have all this sweet stuff. So, the parallel storyline here for you, Chantal, is that these pentacles here, which are measurable, quantifiable units of love, are very rich, very, very valuable. However, with the Seven of Pentacles, the ability to capture and, let's say, access this wealth, this riches and abundance is obscured by things that are very, very difficult to deal with in esoteric terms. Like it's like the energy of having something really lovely that's entangled inside of knots that are very hard to understand or undo. And so it's like you've got both things happening simultaneously, just like on the chart that I showed you. To me, it feels like there's a lot of love here. A lot of measurable love. Okay? And that your child is conceived in love. And that love is measured by these Seven of Pentacles. However, for that love to manifest and, let's say, come to complete fruition in the whole physical life of this world, is obstructed by whatever is not working between yourself and this other person. Okay? Okay? So anyway, let's just keep going. It's not the end of the world, okay? Do you see that? It's not the end of the world. My focus is on the Seven of Pentacles here, okay? There's a lot of love, but whether the love can be accessed or activated or nurtured or cultivated is a whole other thing. Let's have a look. The situation itself is joyful, okay? So, Chantal, I feel that you are very lucky. Even though he's done a runner, even though he's disappeared, and he's gone for a week right now, it's not the end of the world. My feeling is that you are living in love, you are living in abundance, either by choice or by innocence or by default setting. And that's going to be very good news for this little boy. It doesn't necessarily mean good news for day-to-day lovey-dovey stuff with love and relationships, because there's a lot of obscurity here. What's the problem? Okay, we've got number 13 here, the card Energy of Transformation. I alluded to this earlier. Let's say this fellow is, I don't know if he's a first-time father or maybe he's done this before, but the idea, the whole phenomenon of becoming a father, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm reading things into this, Chantal, because I don't know your details. We can do a private reading later. You know, that's a whole other thing. But for tonight, right now, what I'm sensing here is that the big challenge in terms of love and relationship is that assuming that this fellow is the father of this child, the big challenge is the profound transformation in the relationship dynamics. Like, it's one thing to have romance and sex and passion and love and dating and all that, but it's a whole other thing for that to turn into parenthood and responsible fatherhood. It's profound. It can mean like, holy shit, my whole life as a free roaming, loving stud monster is now changed. And now you might be in a situation, Chantal, with you're dealing with a guy who's like finding it difficult to deal with the idea like, oh my God, holy shit, now I'm going to have to be a responsible dad. And that might be very shocking. I don't see that you have a problem directly. My feeling is that it kind of doesn't matter what he does. It's because I feel that you, Chantal, are actually living in love in a very pure, very simple. You are loving, you are loved. You conceived in love, love was brought to you, and you are going to give birth in love. The child was conceived in love and will be born in love. The storyline between you and the father is a whole other story. Like, it might be like, holy shit. Anyway, let's have a look over here. How do we deal with this? This is your reading about you and love, okay? So how do you deal with it? Okay, so you've got the World card here. So this is, to me, look, these are kind of like major arcana, okay? So it's just like you're dealing with things that are out of your control. To me, it feels like you're living absolutely purely in the moment, in a state of love, coming from love, wanting love, being loving, being loved, and this is what it looks like. So the way you deal with it, the way that you, Chantal, deal with it, is that you accept and understand that your life has changed forever. The life that you knew is gone. There's a new life coming ahead for you, and it's going to be the mother of this child. There's a new life coming ahead for this person, and it's the father of this child. And there's a new life coming in. It's a whole new world. Literally, you, the child, and the father. What that looks like going forward, who knows? It's a whole other scenario. But the only way to deal with this is to live absolutely purely in the moment, kind of the way that you're doing right now, where you simply just give yourself over to the healing power of love. You trust in nature, you trust your physical body, you trust your heart, your senses, your soul, and you just keep going. Okay? In some ways, I feel that you're almost divinely blessed, Chantal. It almost doesn't matter what he does or who he is or how he is. You're going to be fine anyway. The child is going to be fine anyway. Either way, it's profoundly transformational, life-changing for you, for the love partner interest. And it's the end of an old way of living, and it's the beginning of a new life, new way of living. Becoming a parent, either a single parent or becoming a parent with another parent. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's completely profoundly life-changing, and you're going to recalibrate everything going forward. I hope this helps you. Okay? Chantal, thank you so much. That was just my little mini reading for you. We can go into it a lot more later on if you want to. That's up to you. I love doing heavy-duty, expensive, live, private readings. Next up, we have Melissa. All right, let's have a look here. I'm at the point, by the way, with this channel, I'm at the point where I think the way people most know this channel or what I do or how I do it is through the Astrodoodles and the live personal mini readings by donation. And I really like that format. I really enjoy it. But being realistic, I have to make this work somehow. So what I'm considering, I don't know what you guys think, but instead of doing like a 4-hour show every Sunday night and Wednesday, I'm thinking of just doing like an hour or two, 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. So because I have to bring in some money. I don't mind admitting it. Hey JS, no, it's okay. JS. After JS, I won't do it. But JS, if you want a reading, do what you got to do. You can do it PayPal. You can. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, so JS, if you want a reading, I can do that. That'll probably be the last reading. And I don't really have a lot of stamina to go for 4 hours like we sometimes do. But we've got Melissa and Robin in front of you. And if you've got the patience and you want to wait, you can get in line, sure. So to do that, if you want to get the reading, you can either go, where is it? You can go here, okay, on the terraillumination.com website, go to the donate button, PayPal will come in, you can just scroll down, put in your debit card information, and put in 10, 20, 50, $1 million. Whatever you want. And then it'll show up, okay? Otherwise, the other thing that you can do is you can go over to, where is it now? Oh, give me a second. You can do the super chat if you want, and that goes directly through Google, YouTube, and all of that. But they take 30%, okay? Just to let you know. So if you send me $100, they take $30. All right? If you do the PayPal and you want to help Terra Illumination, you put in $10, I get $10, okay? Yeah. Okay, so we'll figure it out. I'm going to keep going, JS. If you want to follow up, I'll check the emails later, but right now we're going to get on with Melissa, okay? Thank you for asking. Thank you, JS. Hey, Melissa, are you still there? Can you see me? Thank you, JS. Perfect. Yeah, you know what? With 20 million, we can set up our own planet. We can set up our own community, little Terra Illumination prepper paradise, like I wanted to do when I first started the channel 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Yeah, so sure, I'll accept it. If there's any multimillionaires out there, sure. Just pop it in PayPal. I am very receptive right now. So, Chantal, I hope you enjoyed your mini reading. We can follow up another time. You've got a whole freaking new world opening up to you. Just letting you know, okay? I didn't want to scare you because the beauty is you've got the sun on your side. So it's almost like, Chantal, you're almost like bulletproof, okay? Literally. I don't see that very often. All right, Melissa, what's going on, Melissa? Do you have a particular subject if you want to, like, for example, hey, Terra Illumination, what messages do you have for me tonight regarding the subject of ... Could it be like love, health, career, finance, home, family, spirituality, career, whatever it is. If you can put it in one word, fine. Send it in the chat and I'll see it in a few minutes. And then we'll go from there. Meanwhile, I'm going to shuffle. Thank you, Chantal. Meanwhile, I'm going to shuffle. So, yeah, Melissa, you're up. And I saw you're there. I saw you, Melissa Lauren. I can see you're there. You're a Capricorn Sun and Aquarius Rising Moon. Oh, boy. Okay. So, Melissa, look at that. There's a very powerful Capricorn energy here right now. And you said you've got an Aquarius Rising and Aquarius Moon. So you by definition, you are being heavily aspected right now. It doesn't maybe look like much, okay? But there's no question about it. You are, whether you're aware of it or not, but you would be experiencing a lot of pressure right now simply because of this here. The Capricorn Aquarius aspects that are live right now that are touching on your own natal Capricorn Aquarius aspects. So yeah, it's no wonder you want a reading. All right, I'm going to scroll back through the chat. Give me a second. How do I do that? Blah, 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 blah. Melissa, chat, Melissa. Oh gosh, there's a lot of chat here. Wait a minute. Hey Teal, good to see you. Mini readings are $10, right? Yeah, okay. I'm going way back. Melissa, I can't find it. I don't know what you're talking about. Give me a second. Oh, wait a minute. I said, oh, I see. Hold on. I see it. Give me a second here. Hold on. I see it. It says here, hey, TL, I would like to know about the future of my track and field career. I feel like I'm at a standstill currently. Okay, track and field. So track and field, it's basically athletics. If you're athletics and you're in track and field, the chances are you have an extremely hyper competitive aspect to your nature. Okay? Be honest if you're realistic about it. It isn't just the joy of running around doing track and field. If you're into track and field, there's a component part of you which is like, excuse me, hold on. I've got a massive booger. I got to get it out. Woo! Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Luckily, I'm not on camera. Okay, so no, I see it. You're concerned about hold on, something about track and field, career and track and field. Okay, career. Obviously, when you look at the Capricorn stuff, career, track and field. Maybe you've got some Aries influence or something. You feel like you're at a standstill. Okay, let me go back to here. We just talked about this, okay? You've got the Capricorn Aquarius energies, and they're being heavily aspected right now. Don't even worry about the degrees here. This influence is so powerful, okay? But it's so hard to understand. The Pluto energy is extremely hard to integrate into our being, into our souls, because wherever Pluto lies in your chart, that's where you have the least degree of integration in your depth of soul. So, like if you're a Capricorn sun, for example, Pluto is going through your Capricorn sun right now. And we still have another 3.5 years to go. So the Pluto pressure is very intense, and it's making you question your Capricorn identity. Like, who am I really? What am I really here for? What am I really supposed to do with my Capricorn energy? Capricorn, as you know, is very deeply vested in things like stability, success, career, ambition, winning, doing things right, organizing, just like the CEO of a corporation. Capricorns understand that there are risks in life, and they need to mitigate the risks so that they have the maximum chance of success. In other words, they're very good at evaluating the landscape where things could easily go wrong, and then they go over here where they have a better chance of things going right. It's not easy to do. All right. So, all right, let's have a look. So, give me a second here. I'm gonna have to catch up now. I'm 18, going to try collegiate track. Okay, so you're 18, going to try collegiate track. So you have a lot of life ahead of you. Now, if, for example, give me a second here. I got to get back to where I can see what I'm doing. So, hold on. Robin's over here. I'll come back later and I'll check the other. Hold on. Give me a second. Stay there, Melissa. Don't go away. I've got to check something. Okay, so JS, I'm going to put your post-it here so I can remember it, but I have to go back to my PayPal and double check everything, okay? After that, I don't think I can handle much more because I'm still very raw from weeks and months of being very inactive on the channel. But I have to get back in the saddle. I have to generate a revenue stream, as they say. Okay, you're 18 going on collegiate track. By the way, Melissa, okay, let me just shuffle a little bit here. I'd like to share a personal story with you, Melissa. I'm a lot older than you, by the way. You're half Korean, ha ha ha. So what? It's okay. I'm half French. I'm also half German. But on paper, I'm American. You know, figure that out. Some people would say that Terra Illumination is a Euromut. You know, I have all the classic ingredients of a white Euromut. All right, let's have a look. So, Melissa, before we get into this reading here, I can correlate actually, you know what? Hold on. This is very personal now. Give me a second. Before we even get into your reading, Melissa, I want to share something with you. When I was 17 and a half, basically 18, I was very, very fit. I was a very, very good oarsman. You know, I don't know if you've seen that, but it's basically what they call, traditional rowing. Rowing in these competitive boats. The scull boats are very, very long and very, very thin and narrow, and you sit in the middle and you just row with your oars, okay? I was very, very good at that as a kid. I went to a very elite school. I only got in because I was under a lot of pressure, and I managed to get in because it was an academically extreme high pressure school. But I got in, and while I was there, I was very physical, and I really liked rowing. And they also do things called fours, and they do things called eights. I was not very good at track. I mean, I like to do the sprints, but I wasn't very good at track. But I was really, really good at rowing. Okay? And out of this little tiny school where I got into another school where they regarded me as a kind of a weird prodigy. And that didn't really help because it turned out to be a catastrophic experience. Except at the very last moment, they offered me a reprise. They said, "Dear you, we can get you set up with a scholarship to Cambridge University in England because of your rowing skills." Okay? It's like having a sports scholarship if you're a basketball person or football or baseball or something. You are treated as like a god. And it doesn't matter if you are dumb as a brick, so long as you know how to do baseball, basketball, and football in America. So I had a parallel story when I was a kid regarding rowing. So the problem is that to close the deal, I was expected and induced and pressured to have sex with the people who control all this stuff. Very, very high-powered principals at the top of these colleges and universities. And they're all guys, and I kind of went, I don't really want to do this. This is not me. And my parents were absolutely devastated because they thought they were going to have their little child become like a little rock star, prodigy baby who got a rowing scholarship to Cambridge University. And you become like blue blood. You become indoctrinated into the highest levels of British society. But I kind of went, no. Sorry. So, I understand you in that when you have a high concentration of career energy vested in track and field, and that could set you up for life, for example, with future contracts for whatever it might be, Olympics, colleges, free tuition for blah, blah, blah. I understand it, okay? And if you're under a lot of pressure to succeed, I understand that too, okay? Let me go over here. I'm going to start your reading now. All right. So, let me go over here. Where was I? Okay. I just wanted to share that story with you because it's personal, and I understand what happens at that age when there's intense pressure on athletics and how it can affect your career and your future, your destiny in life. I'm not kidding. It's life-changing. So let's have a look. Let's actually do your reading. Let's actually do your reading. All right. So I did a bunch of shuffling, but we're going to do some more. JS, I can see you as a rower. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I was really good. Really, seriously freaking good at that stuff. But I threw it all away because I didn't want to play their silly little games. Adult males playing silly games with little boys. I didn't want to do that. All right, let's have a look. All right, Melissa, let's just see what's going on with your track and field, especially when it comes to, let's say, your so-called future. Okay? There's a lot at stake here. Okay, I understand it. Here we go. So what kind of messages do we have here today for Melissa regarding track and field and career that is pivoting around track and field? Okay. It's the same old Tarot Illumination spread. I've done thousands of these. It's a situational spread. It's just like going to a car dealer. No, not a car dealer, but an auto tech place and saying, hey, listen, there's something wrong with my car. And the guy says, okay, let's plug it into the diagnostics. Let's see what's going on. And we'll figure out a plan. Here we are. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And let's look at the circumstantial energy, the influences of the planets, and so on. So we have Ace of Pentacles. My first impression is, wow. Holy jeez. This is really good news. In other words, this is a gateway to golden opportunity. Measurable, valuable, physical, financial potential for success, career, life-changing for you, Melissa. Okay? A doorway, a gateway to a new world ahead of you. For example, let's say you completely screw up on your track and field and you trip over, you fall over, and you're in third place and everybody kind of goes like, oh, Melissa's a loser, forget it. Forget the scholarship, forget the career. You're going to end up having a really crappy job in a crappy town, having crappy relationships for the rest of your life. Screw it. That's not what's showing here. What's showing here is that it's very appropriate that you are looking at this very seriously, especially if you're in America, because you can have sports scholarships, and those scholarships are very valuable. The pentacles represent tangible value, like money, love, house, career, all of that. So you're in a really good spot. That's the way I feel it from here. And you have every reason to be concerned, because if it's almost like you're starting to realize, my God, this is really serious. It can be life-changing to have success in track and field to the point where it opens doors for you to get into places that you would not be able to get otherwise, even if you were a freaking genius. Because sports scholarships can be extremely valuable, especially if you're in America. What's the situation here? Okay, obviously you're stressed about it. It's almost like, Melissa, you're being your own worst enemy right now. My feeling is that you are perfectly aware of how important this is to you. The chances of failure, the chances of success is going to have a profound impact on your life. And even though you're being very calm and sweet here tonight and regarding like, oh, I'm going to get a reading with Tarot Illumination about my track and field, see how that affects my career. It's actually extremely important. It's extremely important. And you know this, I know this, but it needs to be acknowledged right now. You can't pretend that this is not important. You have to understand and accept that if you're feeling stressed out, you have every reason to be stressed out. It's what happens with kids. I mean, you're a kid, 18-year-olds, you're still a kid. No insult, okay, Melissa? I'm still very useful, but 18-year-old are still essentially useful. I think that when you reach the age of like 21, 24, 29, that is a degree of maturity. You're not even close to your Saturn return yet. So what you're dealing with right now is very much to do with your growth, your evolution, and you should be very concerned. So I'm very glad that you're here tonight to get a reading. Do not be scared of this card. It's a very scary card, the Nine of Swords. But what this tells me is the situation is that you are very concerned. And that's a good thing, because you need to be concerned. Because this potential track and field stuff with you is potentially life-changing. Let's say you actually do well at this stuff and you actually start getting accolades and people start noticing you and they think, whoa, this Melissa, like, whoa. And, you get the recruiters coming from the universities and the colleges and the campuses. They're saying like, hey, Melissa, we'd like to have you at our campus. How about this deal? And then all of a sudden, like, you realize, oh my God, just because I'm really good at track and field, it's taking me into a place where it's potentially going to have life-changing influences on me for the rest of my life in terms of like career. It doesn't mean you're going to be a runner in track and field for the rest of your life. It's to do with the doorways and the opportunities, the implications of you, Melissa, being very good in track and field. So yeah, you have every reason to be concerned. What's the problem here? Okay, so my feeling is that with the Ace of Swords here, we're dealing with an issue of self-confidence. Okay? Truth, facts, information based on reality. And so if you, Melissa, because the implications here with your track and field are so profound, they have such significance to your future, it would be very natural, again, for you to be very, very stressed out in terms of self-confidence. Like, my God, can I really do this? Do I have the intelligence, the capacity, the mind control, the sense of self-deserved justice for this to actually work? In other words, it's almost like if you, Melissa, if you have even the slightest doubt about yourself to be able to succeed and prosper and enjoy the benefits that can potentially come to you because of your abilities in track and field, then yeah, you should be seriously worried, because it's very, very much to do with self-confidence. When it comes to athletics and performance, you cannot win unless you believe that you can win. So you have to believe it to see it. Okay? You can't just sit there thinking like, oh, well, I don't really know. The only way I'm going to know is like I have to have someone tell me that I'm going to be okay and I am going to be a winner. That's not this reading, Melissa. You have to go into the unknown, into the future, based purely on trust that, you know what, this is what's happening in my life. The only way this is going to work is that I have to actually brainwash myself, convince myself that I can win, that I can succeed, and I will prevail, and this will work for me. You've got two aces here. Look at that. An ace here and an ace here. Melissa, it's like you have fate and destiny in your hands right now. That's very scary, especially if you're a kid. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to insult you, but you're 18. Biologically, you're fully grown. But emotionally, spiritually, you are still very, very young, very youthful. You have so much ahead of you. And the potential is that you have a chance to literally cash in on this. So for this to work, it's not a question of like how much muscle do you have in your thighs, in your calves, in your feet. How much lung capacity do you have? You have to have that all anyway. What really counts here is complete mind control. It's all about, like, in other words, it's almost like, I'm going to put this in the negative right now, but don't dwell on that. If you cannot find a way to convince yourself that you're going to succeed, then you will fail. Okay? So what the deep fear, whether you know it or like it or not, is that you might fail. And then you are left with this shocking realization like, oh my God, the only way that I can succeed and make this actually work for me as an opportunity for a life-changing career situation, like with scholarships or whatever, is that I have to believe it inside of me, inside of myself. I can't rely on tarot illumination telling me like, go Melissa, you're going to be a winner. Like, or mom and dad, it's okay Melissa, you're going to be a winner. Or like if you've got siblings who are like, oh God Melissa, you're an idiot. You're just a wimpy loser. You don't stand a chance, blah, blah, blah. You can't allow any of that to influence you. You have to find it inside of yourself. So that is a very scary thing, coming to the realization that you can only lean on yourself. Welcome to the world of being an athlete. How are we going to deal with this? Okay, this is a very powerful segue, what I just said here. The world of being a successful athlete can be extremely solitary. You cannot depend on anyone or anything. No amount of coaching, parenting, support, or blah, blah, blah is going to help you. If you have that anyway, that's great. But ultimately, the only way this is going to work for you, Melissa, is understanding and accepting that it's basically you against the rest of the world. And that's what happens with an athlete. When you're an athlete, I swear to God, that's your reading, okay? That's your reading. I'm going to go back to personal now. Okay, so Melissa, when you're in that athletic frame and you're doing track and field, and you know what it's like, the energy compresses very, very tight, and you realize like, holy shit, the starter gun's going to go off and you're going to run for your dear life. There is nothing else in the world that matters. Don't worry about your mom, your dad, your food, your next meal, your looks, your how hot you are, whether you're going to be a winner or a loser. The only thing that matters is winning. Okay? So Melissa, it's a very scary, frightening, solitary thing. You're just left with yourself. It's just you alone with you. It would be so nice if someone could go up and say, Melissa, it's okay, you're fine, you're going to win. I can already see that, don't worry. So just have fun, enjoy the race. No! You have to do whatever you freaking can. It's like do or die. There's no one else who can live your life for you. And as an athlete, you're going to find that out. Okay? If you're already deep into track and field and you're starting to sense that you have a career in front of you, a life in front of you that is contingent upon your success in track and field, then congratulations. I'm very happy for you because you've woken up and you realized it. It doesn't really help you or relieve the pressure, but it's just literally you're on your own. The hermit, there's nowhere else you can turn, there's nowhere else you can go. You have to live through solitary experience. You have to be your own coach. You're going to have to be the one who pats you on the back and says, you know what, Melissa? If you don't frickin' do this, you're a frickin' loser. And so you get this like massive adrenaline surge, which is above and beyond, way above and beyond just being like a good runner. This is about the runner who has to win. You have to win. Okay? That means you take things to the extreme. You take your body to the extreme. Your mind, your body, soul to the point where, my God, my body's going to melt. My arm, my legs, my lungs, they're going to explode. I'm in so much pain, but I'm not going to stop because if I don't win, I'm screwed. Okay? Got it? Got it? So I hope that helps you, Melissa. Do what you got to do. Okay? You're an athlete. Athletes are singular. Okay? Do what you have to do. Even if you're working in a team or whatever, like relays, it's very singular. No one else can run this race for you. Nobody. So you have to be your own coach, whatever. You have to win, okay? I know you understand this, Melissa. I know you understand, okay? So do what you have to do. Thank you very much. Okay, it's been a pleasure reading for you, Melissa. You got this. I'm absolutely convinced that you got this, but you can't rely on me to tell you. You have to find it inside your own being. And my guess is that you're going to be taken to the very absolute limits of body, mind, heart, and soul to do this. But you have it in you. I guarantee you have it in you, okay? Next up, Robin. And after that, we have JS. That's enough, okay? Okay, let's have a look here. What did you just say, JS? Love that pep up. Makes me want to lace up my Nikes. I get it. Well, yeah, Melissa, just keep us updated. Do what you got to do. I got pretty carried away with that reading because I really felt it on a personal level. We all want you to win, Melissa, okay? One of the reasons I mentioned it and I took it to the extremes like that, Melissa, is because there are other people out there in similar positions to yourself. And deep in their body, mind, heart, and soul, they know that if they do not win, they will not get that career. They will not get that scholarship. So they take it absolutely to the wire. They push their body to the absolute limit. Okay? Robin, you're up. Okay, what kind of messages do we have here tonight for Robin's Realms readings? If you got a particular subject, Robin, you know what to do. What kind of messages do we have here tonight from Tarot Illumination for Robin's Realms readings regarding the subject of ... Whatever it is, Robin. If you just want me to go wild, I'll do that. No problem. If you can put one word in the chat, you can do that if you want. There'll be a few seconds. I'm going to shuffle a few more moments. All right, let's have a look here. All right, okay. Hey, Robin, I hope you don't mind, but I need a potty break. Sorry about that, folks, but blame it on whatever. First of all, I need one of these. I need a little top up. Cheers. I'm going to take a potty break, and I'll be right back. Let me play a little song. Let me play a song here in the meantime. Give me a second. I want to think of a little tune that I do. I only have a very limited repertoire. I'm going to play a song called Wonder Ride, okay? It's about the magic of living life. Hold on. Okay, let's have a look over here. Wonder Ride song. Come on, I have to do this again. Give me a second. Doopy-doo, get rid of that, blah-bitty-blah. I don't know what's happening there. I think I lost something. Clickety-click. Ugh. I'm going to try this again. Give me a second. I'm going to click this one, see what happens. Here we are. Here we go. This is it. Here we go. Try this. Let me see if this sounds right. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, enjoy. Give me a minute. I'll be back.
This is a birthday present for my sweetheart. Just wanted to share this. Okay, here we go. It's called Wonder Ride.
My dear, this is my birthday present to you, to celebrate the day that heaven made you. It's remarkable that we both found one another. And the day we set out on our transformational ride with each other at each other's side, it soon became evident that we are both changing, and it's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. Starts to unfold in a multi-dimensional world of untold delights that truly defy the imagination. You've naturally taken it upon yourself to document all the nuances that go to make up a story of extraordinary proportions. Such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear. It's such a wonder ride, my dear. Yes, it's such a wonder ride. Hold on tight, tightly, my dear.
All right, so I just got back, and I am here. I'm ready to move on, and we're going to go over to Robin. All right, Robin, let's have a look. I don't see any notes, Robin. I asked if you wanted to put in a particular one-word subject, fine, but I don't see it there. So I'm just going to give you a wild reading, okay? Going blind. Cards are already shuffled, but I'm going to go a little bit more just to be extra sure. I love having a clean deck. Let's see about this. And then see what shows up. I know you've been through a lot of ups and downs, Robin. And you've had a lot of question marks in your life. Let's see what comes up here. What kind of messages do we have for Robin here tonight? Here's the situation, okay? Oh, money. Okay, fine. I see what you're saying. Okay, the dollar signs. Got it. Duh. Thank you. Big money, big money, big money. Okay, here's a situation regarding money in your life. Okay, money is very, very important. Some people are very embarrassed about money because it makes you feel like, oh no, I shouldn't really talk about it because people will think I'm greedy or something. No, money is extremely important. We live in a world today where, or like it or not, money is this universally, let's say, it's like an indoctrination where we all have to have this stuff called money in order to transact our lives. You know, there are ways to live outside and around money, but money is a store of value, okay? Currency is a very different thing. Currency is the exchange of money, the exchange of value. So I'm going to stick with the word money because it represents value. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle it. And this is for Robin regarding the subject of money rather than currency. Okay. So we've got the Page of Pentacles here, which is very appropriate regarding the subject of money because Pentacles represent physical reality. So my feeling is that the subject of money itself is, in some ways, like Robin, in some ways you're a little bit innocent about the subject of money and that there is so much to learn. Like, where does money come from? Where does it go? How do you get money? How do you give money? What does money mean? We learn very early on in life that money is very, very important. And it's one of those subjects you just can't escape. But for a lot of people, it's a very uncomfortable subject because they don't understand the energy field. Now, I can only talk so much, Robin, because like if I was an expert in money in three-dimensional terms, I would be a multi-billionaire, and I would not be spending my time running a YouTube channel doing mini tarot readings for people. I would be doing like what big money people do, okay? But in your situation, we're talking about the spiritual energy of money. What does money really mean? What does it mean to you? Where is it coming from? Where is it going? What do you deserve? How do you deserve it? There's so much to learn, okay? And you're coming at it from a very, I would say, benevolent, well-meaning perspective. And so whenever things don't work out for you with money, it's very important that you don't take it personally. And when things do work out for you with money, you don't treat yourself as though like I'm a freaking genius. I know everything about money now. No. Yeah, to me it feels like you're surrounded by an energy field where there's potential for you, but there's a lot of learning and experience that's going to come along with it. What's the situation itself? Okay? So, you've got the Knight of Wands here. So to me it feels like you are very, very determined to figure out and understand and make the best of the energy field of money that exists in your life. Whether it's to do with an inheritance or money that you earn through your own labor, wits and talents and resources, or wealth and money that, let's say, comes from like investing things, like planting seeds, like how people, some people, they're not that very concerned about money, but they do know that you have to invest and plan for the future, like, whatever they call it, like retirement funds, insurance policies, and so on. All that 8th house energy of other people's money. Either way, it kind of doesn't matter. The whole subject of money is important to you to the point where it's like with the best of intentions, you are determined to make the best of what you've got. Your own skills, your own talents, your own resources, whatever is owed to you, whatever you can accrue for yourself by studying and learning and understanding the world of money. I'm going to share something with you personally, okay? So, in my own life, I've had a lot of issues with money. A lot of people do, but for some people, money is not a big deal. It's just they're more focused on this or that or whatever. But for my whole life, the subject of money has been a profound, prominent aspect of my life experience. And a lot of it has been very, let's say, a very bumpy experience. But I'm learning so much. And I'm still learning so much today because I can relate with you because with the Page of Wands, I feel so innocent. I'm coming in with the best of intentions, but I'm realizing I am so freaking ignorant, so innocent when it comes to the actual three-dimensional day-to-day mechanics of money, as opposed to the spiritual aspects of money. Okay? Very, very different. We can go into that in more detail another time. Let's get back to you. No question about it is that you're determined to make the best of your situation. Some way, somehow. Whatever that looks like. What's the problem here? Okay, well, the Eight of Wands is a very powerful, very dynamic energy. It's like the energy of success, winning. I want to win. I want to succeed. I want things to happen and work for me. But this card is in a very challenging position. So to me, it looks like it's almost like it's highly contradictory energy. It's just like, Robin, you're so determined to do what's best, do what's right, and learn and make the most of it and optimize your finances in whatever it is, whatever shape or form. Real estate, savings, income, revenue, inheritances, whatever it is. You are absolutely determined to make the best of it. However, with the Eight of Wands here, there's some kind of what I feel like supreme self-doubt, and it might be something to do with childhood wounding regarding finances and money, where you might have grown up in a situation where the subject of money was very, very turbulent. You, your family, your distant family, your relatives, friends, siblings, mom and dad, whatever, to the point where your ability to feel confident and go forward with 100% confidence is undermined by a previous life history of very, very scary, painful experiences in money that destroyed your self-confidence. And that, it's like these two energies are working against each other. Like, how on earth are you going to overcome extreme fear of money, lack of confidence over money, despite your efforts to make the best out of it all? It's all happening simultaneously, okay? So how do you put these two things in balance? Okay, it's almost like the best thing you can do is not even think about money at all. The best thing you can do is focus on... this is going to sound really kind of like a cop-out here, but being loving and being loved. Focus on the love. Don't focus on the money. Like, the money is a byproduct, okay? I'm going to share something here. Robin, I'm very concerned about money myself. I'm very attracted to this fellow on YouTube who's an incredibly powerful, capable, what they call a day trader. He is literally a savage. He goes into the cryptocurrency day trading world on what is called the 1 minute chart. It's a very dangerous place. It's the place for warriors. It's a battlefield. And the way he operates, he's like a savage. It's like a smash and grab. It's like he knows when to get in and when to get out. And that's it. The only issue is winning. And it's like being a wolf. It's like being a savage warrior. He knows how to get in, do what has to be done, make the money and get out. And a very, very satisfying, like, ha, ha, ha. You, I took you down. He goes in like a savage warrior. Now, let's get back to you, Robin. You might have a desire to be that way. You might have the desire to be like, I want to be a winner. I want to succeed financially. I want to be able to wake up every day and make amazing stuff happen with my money, my talents, my gifts, and my resources, inherited or self-created, whatever it is. But it's almost like by focusing on the money itself, you're actually hurting yourself. When I see the 10 of Cups here, it's almost like you're better off. It's almost like, energy flows where attention goes. It's almost like you're better off directing your attention towards what is already working in your life, as opposed like the attitude of gratitude, like, wow, I have shelter. I have love in my life. Whatever it is, friends, family, siblings, children, whatever it is, I have all that beautiful stuff. And then you put yourself into the energy field of love and receptiveness. So in the way that sometimes I say this thing, for example, I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing. I am able to receive the healing power of love. Okay? And then you say to yourself, like, oh, what does that look like? Please bring to me that which is mine. What is the most loving thing that I can bring into my life right now? Please bring that to me right now. Instead of focusing on like, please send me the money that I need right now. Please help me find ways to get rich right now so that I can have the money that I deserve, and so on and so on. It's almost like you're misdirecting the energy. It's almost pointless because you're focusing energy over here when it needs to be focused over here. Sorry, here to here. So, and there's another layer to this as well. Hold on, let me show you. Hello, SJ. Hi, Starzy. So, this, and this should make sense. But this is where things get very confusing with the Ten of Cups. Because it's very strange how money works. Money goes where it's loved and appreciated and works best. Just because someone is very wealthy and has a lot of money doesn't mean that they're a very loving, caring person, and so on and so on. But in your situation with the Ten of Cups here, it feels to me like it's almost like you'd be better off forgetting about the money and focusing more on being grateful for who you are and what you've got already, especially in terms of love, because you cannot measure love in terms of money. You could inherit $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million. But does that mean you are loving? You are loved? Are you happy? It just means you have a pile of cash in the bank or whatever. So, to me, this is a very difficult reading to deliver to you because my feeling is that you would love to have a message that tells you, how am I going to optimize my wealth? How am I going to optimize my money? When or if am I going to get my money? How is that going to happen? I know that has to work. I deserve it, and I want it to happen. But with this here, the Eight of Wands, this is almost like self-destructive energy. It's almost like your own energy is working against you to the point where it's self-defeating. And so when I look at the reading here, I keep thinking, you know what? It's almost like you're better off giving up thinking or worrying or stressing about money. You need to be concerned because there's a degree of innocence here and you need to learn. But I think what the learning here, it might be something to do with like, there's things that are actually more important than money. We all need money. I need to make money. I need to make a lot more money than I'm making right now. But things are the way they are, so you have to deal with it. So with the Ten of Cups here, this, I guess in a way what it's telling me is that really what it comes down to is attitude of gratitude. It's the way to handle your situation is to focus on the attitude of gratitude and being aware of how lucky you are already in terms of receiving love, sharing love, giving and receiving love. And that's what actually triggers the doorway to open for the reception, the ability to receive wealth and abundance in the way that you might think you deserve already, but from an alternative direction. So this feels very contradictory to this. This is fine. So the way to move forward is like, okay, sure you're concerned about money. I'm deadly concerned. I have so many freaking financial issues in my life right now. I don't know how to describe it. But It's almost like the worst thing I could do is go chasing after money or trying to find ways to... It's almost like self-defeating. And instead, for you, which is, it's almost like this is what I try to do for myself, constantly remind myself how lucky I am already. Think of it like this. Here's another TL little mini prayer. Say it for yourself. I'm a very lucky person. I'm a very wealthy person. I'm a very happy person. I'm a very blessed person. And you just keep saying that over and over again like propaganda, and then to the point where you start to believe it. And then when you get in situations where you realize, when you start thinking like, you know what, TL's full of bullshit. He's just trying to hypnotize me, you know? But what you're actually trying to do is dissolve the fear of what's not going to work. It's almost like the fear of what's not working messes everything up for everything else. So it's almost like you're better off focusing on going back to the essentials, the very, very basics. Attitude of gratitude, being loving and being loved, and just allowing the natural flow of money to occur. Now, however you reinterpret this, Robin, that's your business. You're already a very competent reader, so you can look at this in your own way somehow and reinterpret it however you like. I'm just giving you my interpretation, okay? And I hope it helps you, okay? Thanks, Robin. JS, you're up next. Let's have a look. Okay, give me a second here. I have to go and shut the blinds. JS, you're next, okay? Give me a second. All right, let's have a look. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me just check the PayPal note. I see what you're saying on the screen. I see it in the chat. Stay there, JS. I'll be right back. Hold on. Give me a second here. I have to do some technical juggling. Doopy-doopy-doo. Chat amongst yourselves. Hold on. Oh, I got another reading. Jennifer Schwartz, thank you. That's you. Okay, JS, Jennifer Schwartz. Got it. Okay, I see it now. Okay, it says here, I'm going to read it out to everybody. It says here, hi, I'd like to know about my health. Am I dying in the immediate future? No pressure. God. Seriously, Jay? Yeah, talk about no pressure. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Am I dying? Yeah, well, we're all dying. The minute you're born, you're dying. Okay, so I don't want to take that too far. Let me go to a little bit of an exchange with you here. Hey, JS. A while ago, I've been living, the last 2 or 3 months, I've been living through some really catastrophic personal experiences where I had no energy left except to just get up. I couldn't do my channel, couldn't do anything, okay? I felt like I was dying. I got scammed. I made some very, 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 very bad decisions. I lost a ton of money. I lost a year's worth of income in a scam. A year's worth of income, okay? It's a ton of money for me. It's a tiny amount of money for some people, but it's a lot of money for me. Then I had other issues with my living situation, with my apartment in Los Angeles. It's been a freaking nightmare because of the laws, the legal situation in Los Angeles with the mandates and the lockdowns. And I've lost a lot of money, and I've pissed off owners and managers of property. It's a freaking nightmare, okay? But I'm not dead yet, okay? I'm still going. You're still here, so you're still going. One of the things that had a really good impact on me recently was 2 movies. These movies might help you because they kind of deal with the not necessarily the subject of death, but the subject of what's really, really important in life up to the point of death. I think they're both on Netflix. I can't be sure. Maybe it's Amazon Prime or something like that. One movie, please take a note of this, okay? One movie is called My Octopus Teacher. Okay? Please make a note of that. And there's another movie. It's called Penguin Bloom. These 2 movies really affected me. I have very little time to watch movies, Netflix, television, and all that stuff. All my time is consumed with like the minute details of living in the moment. But I was very lucky to watch these 2 stories, and they affected me very profoundly at this level here. Because at the level at which these stories are operating, and they're both true stories, by the way, it really brings you to the point where you're trying to understand like what really, really counts in life up to the point of death. Because we're all going to die. We all know it. And the subject of death and endings is a key component in these stories, okay? So, please, JS, if you can find a way, it's a total of like 3.5 hours out of your life. One movie is called My Octopus Teacher. The other one is called Penguin Bloom. They're very pure, beautiful, true stories, okay? All right, let's get back to your reading. Yes, there is a lot of doom and gloom around. I think if you have... Okay, Chantal, you take care. Thank you for everything. I'm glad I could help out. You're going to be just fine, by the way, because you're in a very, very strong position, literally from the level of your soul. Okay? Take care. All the best. Actually, let's say I do this on Wednesday or next Sunday or whatever. Please come back and visit and tell us what's going on with the new little human being that you're brought onto planet Earth. You're going to be a mom. Holy shit. You're going to be a mom. I'm sure you'll be a great mom. I'm sure you'll be a very loving mom. And I'm sure that your child was conceived in love. What it looks like going forward from there is a whole other story. All right, JS. Am I going to die? Of course you're going to die. Duh. Right now? Maybe. Probably not. All right, let's have a look. If I wanted to, JS, I could be really suicidally depressed right now. There are so many what I call truly evil things happening on planet Earth right now on a scale that has not been around for decades or even centuries, but it is here. We are swimming in it. We are swimming in a pool of dark evil. That dark evil is actually more to do with the absence of love, because certain groups of people on planet Earth have chosen power, control, and money in the earthly realm as opposed to love. And their decisions impact the rest of us who choose to live in love. So anyway, Chantal, it's your fourth. Oh my God. Oh, so you're a mom already. Oh, you know exactly what you're doing. Wow. 4 babies. You've made 4 human beings. Brand new little human beings. Oh, it's his first. Oh, I get it. Got it. I got it. All right, okay. JS, you're not suicidal. Good. Okay, good. Good. I can't imagine that you would be. If you're hanging out on this channel, you're probably more here to more like have fun and be loving and be loved. Because that's kind of what we do here. The way I see it is that we deal with very profound subject matters, but we do it in a way that is, let's say, enjoyable, tangible, manageable. A lot of my private personal clients have situations that are very dire. Does that mean they're going to jump off a cliff? No. All right, cards are shuffled. Let's have a look, JS. Yeah, 4. Oh my God. All right, anyway. Okay, JS, we're on to you now. God's gifts to you. Go, Chantal. Someone's got to do it. All right, JS, here's the situation. And you mentioned something about, what was it? Am I going to live? Am I going to die? Am I going to live? Am I going to die? Am I going to live? Where was it? Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. Preoccupation with death lately. Well, give me a second here. I'm going to just go back. I just want to go back over it. Give me a second. I want to just check something. Okay, so it's really, I guess you could say it's really about health. Okay. Am I going to die in the near future? Okay. All right, so let me go over here. Dun-dun-dun. All right. Here's the situation. You're concerned about your health. Are you going to die? All right. Here's the situation. Here's how we're going to handle it. Sorry, here's the problems with this situation. Here's how we're going to handle it. Let's look at the circumstantial energy. Okay, to me it feels like there's a bit of a face-off going on here where it's, how do I say this? To me, I mean, this is the Lover's card here. So it's about very big, profound decisions, but it's also about, I think, like reality checks when it comes to the world of love and relationships, like what it really, really means. Where, like if you put this through the lens of health, you put the Lover's card through the lens of health, the first thing I'm sensing is that, do you really want to live? If so, then you will live. There's something called the will to live, okay? Again, I've noticed that from one of the books that I read, a fellow called Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled. I'll just mention this very, very briefly, okay? The Lover's card here, because this is a you story about you, okay? So it's a question of, can you handle the reality about yourself? Like your impression about yourself, like in the best interpretation relative to, let's say, the other part of yourself which might be very sick, like if you're very, very sick with something or whether to the point where you're questioning whether you're going to live or not, okay? So here, let me go over here. Give me a second. This is the last reading of the night, okay? So I've read a lot of spiritual books. I've done lots of like yoga stuff and spiritual training camps and all that kind of thing. And I still end up just being a guy, and I have a YouTube channel, and I'm worried about my next meal and really basic stuff. I don't have a multi-million-dollar Zen yoga music trip out channel, 83 hertz self-healing thing. I wish I could do that stuff. Well, I could in theory, but it wouldn't be authentic. It would just me copying other people. So this is me being authentic. Now, in your case, okay, JS, it's like, how am I going to put this? Give me a second. Like when you're facing yourself, the reality about your health, and how you want it to be or not. There's this thing called the will to live. I highly recommend you read this book. It's called The Road Less Traveled. I've read, I don't know how many books on all this spirituality and stuff, psychic mediumship, tarot, astrology, speaking with God, the healing power of love and all. I have my own book, The Healing Power of Love, but I've still not finished it. But anyway, in your situation, it's like, I'll go back to what Scott Peck was saying in his book. Scott Peck is not primarily a spiritualist or a healer in the way of like James Von Prague or Sylvia Brown or Barbara Brennan or all of the online yoga teachers or whatever. Scott Peck was a medical doctor in the military years ago, probably a generation older than me. But from the books that I read of his, he was a very loving person, and he dedicated his life to health and healing of other people, especially people in the military, especially in the front lines, where there's a lot of blood and carnage and just the most hideous stuff you can imagine. Okay? But there are doctors who deal with that. And like in the American military, there are a lot of doctors who take care of first responders, who put their lives on the line in terms of like guns, bullets, and everything, in order to apparently so-called help to protect and defend America and the interests of America. That's a whole other subject. But either way, it's blood and guts. And what Scott Peck learned after dealing with, hundreds and hundreds of soldiers and patients is that the soldiers who survived are the soldiers who had the desire and the will to live. Like there were some soldiers who had a certain degree of wounding and pain and suffering, and they died. And there were certain soldiers who had astronomically worse wounding and suffering, but they did not die. And in the end, Scott concluded that the only reason these other ones lived is because they had this phenomenal will to live. It's like having an extremely powerful psycho-spiritual immune system where you become bulletproof, literally bulletproof, I know what that is. I've had a lot of physical, biological disease and damage in my own life. I should have been dead 5 or 7 times over. Seriously. But I'm still here. It's like nothing ever happened. I'm not bulletproof. I know I have a finite existence. I know eventually my body will just go, and that's the end of me. And I have, to be honest, I have felt very suicidal many times in my life. But I have not done it. I've suffered a lot of physical pain, assault, and suffering, literally at the hands of criminals. But I'm still here. So I concluded that I might have something about what those guys have, those soldiers, those warriors, male or female. It is called the will to live. And the will to live trumps everything else. It's just like, okay, so yeah, sure, I lost an arm. Sure, I got some kind of biological toxin. And maybe I don't have 100% functionality anymore, but I still want to live my freaking life. So somehow or other, your natural immune system kicks in and takes over. The human body is freaking mind-boggling when it comes to immunity and survival, depending on the will to live, okay? So, people who have this is, you can't, I'm not going to judge anybody, but what Scott Peck noticed is that people who had a very modest will to live, they just died. They could just have like a shoulder wound and it would become infected and then they would die. And that would be the end of it. The will to live. So, that's a whole other subject. I'm not going to go into the will to live, but I'm suggesting to you, JS, that it is a very real life concept. And it relates to your immune system, not just physical, biological, but your whole being, spiritual, physical, mental, everything. The desire to live. You were born. You're here on this planet. You are who you are. You have a certain identity. The question is the will to live. You're questioning right now in your reading, like, am I going to die? It's a good question. Yes, of course you're going to die. Are you going to die right now? If you're going to die right now, what are you going to die of? Is it misery, depression, suicide, disease, whatever it is? Even if it is the most horrific thing, it doesn't mean you're going to die. So, anyway, let's get on with your reading. So, to me, it feels like with the Lover's card here, you end up in a situation where you're facing yourself. You're learning about yourself and coming to terms and becoming awake and aware to the concept of the will to live. Big decisions. Am I willing to live with me, JS, with all my imperfections, all my failings, all my losses, all including my inevitable destiny of dying anyway? Can I handle that? Or am I going to live life assuming that everything's just going to be dazzlingly perfect all the time until somebody just presses a button and then I die? No. What you're dealing with here is your own personal will to live and then making the decision to live. Even against all odds, even against the worst possible versions of yourself. Like, let's just say you're really sick. Let's just say you've got some kind of diagnosis of terminal cancer, or terminal this, or terminal that. And your friends, families, and doctors are just saying, oh, well, she's going to die. It's just a question of like, oh, when, you know. There's still another part of you that can say, you know what? Fuck that. I don't care what you say. I don't care if I have this disease or that disease, or statistically I'm dead anyway. That's not necessarily you. There is this thing called a will to live, and that overrides anything. That's your natural immune system. What's the situation? Okay, You've got an Ace of Swords here. So this is a golden opportunity for you to wake up and understand that you have the right to exercise your will to live. You don't have to. But the Ace of Swords is saying, your life experience right now at this time is presenting you with a golden opportunity to choose the concept of to live or not to live, to die or not to die. It's up to you. It's totally up to you, JS. It's not up to your doctors. It's not up to the virus or the bacteria or whatever is damaged or screwed up or broken in your life, or whether it's the world around you that's going to take you down in a world of misery and depression. None of that matters. It's totally up to you. Okay? Making really profound, critical decisions. If you decide, you know what, I can't take it anymore, then you're gone. You're going to die. If you decide, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. I don't know what's going to happen next. I might end up worse off than I ever was before. But I'm still alive and I've decided I'm going to keep going. Okay? So that's what you're dealing with here. Huge decisions in a moment of golden opportunity. And it's purely up to you. What's the challenge here? Okay, so you've got the Knight of Pentacles. So when I see pentacles here in this reading, I see this as measurements of love. And the willingness to bring love into the situation. The Knight of Pentacles is a very generous, determined, solid, caring energy, especially when it comes to the will to live here on planet Earth. Pentacles very much to do with physical reality. So to me, this looks like deep self-doubt, whether you have the courage or the strength to believe in yourself or to give yourself permission that you do have the right to live. And then the shocking realization like, oh my God, it really is up to me. It doesn't matter what the doctors say. It doesn't matter what the disease is. It's really kind of up to you. And you realize like, my God, I am literally holding the healing power of love in my own hands. Am I willing to offer that to myself? Remember on this channel, one of the things I put on the channel is love thyself. Do you have the courage, the strength, the ability, the willpower, the determination to love thyself? That is the hardest thing to do. Okay, JS, it's the hardest thing to do. And now you're facing that reality and you're realizing, oh my God, it's true. Holy shit. So, what are you going to do? Wow. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant here. This is a card, to me it feels like it's taking vows. It's time for you. It's almost like psychologically, spiritually, astrologically, circumstantially in your life, your world. I don't know anything about you, JS, except that you're a visitor to the channel and you bought a mini reading. But what this is telling me is that you're at a point of critical mass in your life right now. You might feel it at the next lunar event, which I think is a full moon, coming very soon, where you have to make a decision. You have to make a vow. This is like making vows. The way to move forward is that you decide like, oh, I see what Tarot Illumination is talking about. I need to study these things. I need to understand these things. And then I need to make a vow, a pact, like a blood pact with myself to myself. In other words, this is like pledging allegiance to yourself. I pledge allegiance to myself, JS, that I am not going to give up myself. I am willing to love myself. Do you see the couple here? It's in a love reading, some people see this as a marriage contract, the formalization of a romantic relationship and turning it into a formal contract in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of the law. So are you willing to do that with yourself? So over here, it's like you are in a contest with yourself, and you're being presented with a situation where you have asked in this reading, like, am I going to live or am I going to die? Well, guess what? It's completely and utterly up to you. And that might be very shocking, because people who decide, like, you know what, I don't have the will anymore, then it's like they're pulling the fuse on themselves and then they die. And that's what Scott Peck was talking about. I'm not kidding, JS. Please read The Road Less Traveled. It's a very simple, basic book. It's nothing to do with spirituality, but the inner layers of the book will address the subject that we're talking about here. It's about dealing with raw, brutal death, blood in your face. What are you going to do about it? But now you're dealing with it right in your face. And the way I look at this reading is that this is a tremendous moment of awakening, golden opportunity, knowledge, wisdom, awareness, that you have the right, duty, and obligation to love thyself and make a formal commitment to the will to live, to love thyself, so that even though you know you're going to die anyway, you're not going to die just because of circumstance. You're going to die on your own time, on your own journey, on your own reckoning, when it is appropriate for you. Okay? So in other words, you might have decades of life in front of you if you choose to. On the other hand, if you choose to surrender to circumstance and you just say, oh, well, the doctor said I'm going to die, so I'm going to die. Oh, well, I've got this disease, so I know I'm going to die. Then you're going to freaking die. Got it? So it's very much to do with your ability to love thyself. Do you have the strength, the will, commitment to love thyself, to actually pledge to yourself that you're going to love thyself to the point where, like, you realize, oh my God, I'm going to live. I'm going to live through this shit. I'm not only that, I'm a survivor, and I am going to live to tell the fucking tale. So that's your reading. I hope you get something out of it. I hope it makes sense to you. It's up to you. I'm sure, I'm confident you're going to be okay. You came here tonight, and I think you just heard what you needed to hear. I just conveyed a message to you. I'm literally just an instrument. I'm just an instrument of the healing power of love. The love is infinite. It's out there. I make myself available as an instrument, and it flows through, and I'm just delivering messages that you bought and paid for. That's it. It's up to you what you do with it. Okay? Personally, I think you're going to be just fine. But being just fine might not be in the way that you ever thought about it before. You're going to be fine because you've made a decision that you're going to be fine. It's like my friend Love Triber. She was very, very sick for about 10 days. But she knew she was going to survive. She knew that it was going to be hell. And it was misery, and it was hell. And she did not go around in a panic like, doctor, please save me. What I'm going to... No, she realized, I'm very, very sick. The only way I'm going to survive is to trust that my immune system is so capable that I will live through this and come out the other side and be stronger. And that is exactly what happened. And you can do the very same thing. Okay, everybody. I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. Thank you very much, JS. I hope that helps you. If anybody needs a personal consultation, you come over here. I'll just show you. Okay, I screwed that up. I don't know what I did wrong. Give me a second here. Okay, obviously I shut it down. Anyway, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just going to shut this down. I'll play a little bit of music if I can. I wish you all the best. And I'll see you soon. Okay, give me a second. I'm just going to try something here. Hold on. There we go.